Hello, and welcome to Live at Lunch. I'm just going to give it a minute. Thank you for being here, for sharing these moments with us. Okay, so first of all, hi everyone. My name is Megan Raimondi Musser. Welcome to today's Live at Lunch with the WCA. Thank you so much for being here and for spending these moments with me today. I know it's a Monday and Mondays can be hard to show up for anything, so I appreciate you sharing these moments with me. Like I said, my name is Megan Raimondi Musser, and I'm the Clinical Services Manager at the WCA, which means I get to spend my days supporting and managing the WCA case managers and clinicians. A big part of my role is providing clinical support around how our case managers and clinicians show up in their very important work with clients. But as you can imagine, a big part of that is making sure that they also show up for themselves, taking care of themselves during the workday, but also after the workday, taking time off as they might need to, paying attention to what they need, and to any signs of burnout that might come up for them, or exhaustion, or just feeling um, overwhelmed, holding healthy boundaries for themselves, and then making sure that they are filling their own cups. A saying that I refer to often in our work together is that we cannot pour into others from an empty cup. And I like to refer to this graphic I'm going to try to share with you. Um, and it says, "It is not selfish to refill your own cup so that you can pour into others. It is not just a luxury, it is essential." So today we're going to spend a few moments reflecting on filling our own cups. So I'd invite you to just think about, how do you take care of yourself, regardless of the work you do, um, or the way you spend your days. How do you take care of yourself as you walk through life right now? And I'm not just talking about trips to the Bahamas or even spa days, because while those are quite fantastic and highly recommended, they aren't always accessible to us. And recently, COVID has made many of our self care practices, even things like spending time with loved ones, significantly less accessible, and even more necessary, because our life is oftentimes much more stressful. Even things that might have been simple activities in our lives before, like going to the grocery store, can bring about new stressors in these times. So, one thing I find really important in this conversation is thinking about what we label as self care. So, I think it's super important to identify that everyday tasks can be self care when we are intentional about them, and finding ways to bring that intentionality into those everyday tasks. So, things like drinking water, or even going for a quick walk between clients or between meetings, or even just taking a deep breath, which I'm going to do right now. And I invite you to too. So in like the energy of bringing attention to the way that we take breaks and are taking care of ourselves, I have this little list that hangs next to my wall. So I like to refer to this list when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And you can find it on the internet if you type in, 50 ways to take a break. And I'd invite you to look it up if you are interested. There's lots of awesome graphics like this that exist in the world. And I have it hanging next to my office wall, so that I can refer to it. Um, Sometimes I think it's hard to think of things on our own because we have so much going on. And so we just continue to put it on the back burner. Um, so recognizing what those things might be and really just finding ways to incorporate them into our day. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Christine. Um, so I think having that acknowledgement of what might look like taking a break. I find that sometimes everything can feel like a task. And so when everything feels like a task, sometimes we have zero capacity for more tasks. And so then we can just continue to put things on the back burner. So I really recommend having a list somewhere or having a place where you can kind of easily refer to what might work for you today. And I really encourage myself to try new things because I find that sometimes the things that used to work for me don't. So another thing I encourage the team members that I support and myself to do is to pay attention to the areas of our life that might be vulnerable to disruption when we're feeling overwhelmed or overrun. For me, it is sleep. So I tend to have times when I sleep more poorly, whether I'm having trouble falling asleep or I'm waking up more frequently, and patience, which my partner and 2-year-old can attest to. So whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or whenever I haven't been taking the time for myself or I'm too back to back in my days, I get home and my patience is about that big. And I pride myself on being somebody who's pretty patient in general. And so I can tell when I get a little snippy or snappy or just less joyful in the process of being patient, that oftentimes that means that I am not taking moments in my day to take care of myself. So I invite you to think about what is vulnerable to disruption for you. Um, what can be hard for you to find time for? And then what is the effect when you don't find that time? So does it affect your sleep? Does it affect your appetite? Does it affect your patience? Does it affect your ability to check off things on your to-do list? Does it make you distractible? Maybe it makes you have trouble concentrating. So there's right a wide array, and everybody's different. But so really paying attention to you, and when you feel a little overwhelmed or a little exhausted, what goes first? Um, and then also thinking about when you notice that going. Are you able to do something about it? So if you notice that your sleep isn't going very well, does it frustrate you more and make you more tired and then just kind of cycle downwards? Or can you say, oh, I'm not sleeping well. What can I do to fix that? What can I do within my day, right? And it doesn't have to be a big thing again. It can just be something small. So maybe you make sure that you're eating lunch and that you're taking time away from your computer and away from Zoom meetings for lunch and that you're blocking that time out in your calendar. Or maybe means making sure that at 5 o'clock you're logging off and you're able to really spend time at home or going for a walk or making space for exercise. Maybe it just means that you're making sure that your water is always full at work because maybe you're getting dehydrated because you're running from meeting to meeting or you're just on Zoom all day and you're not filling your water, which means that then you're dehydrated and then that's affecting you. And then also noticing what might motivate you to do something about it. So if you are feeling like those things are faltering, what can you do to motivate yourself to make those changes? So we're going to do a quick mindfulness meditation as a way to take care of ourselves today. So I'm just going to invite you to find a comfortable spot wherever you are and however you're sitting. You don't need to move from your space. You can just stay where you are, but maybe straighten your back a little bit. And this is just going to be like a few moments, so it will be quick, but sometimes the quick ones can have just as an effect, long as an effect, and again, feel way more accessible. So oftentimes we run through our days on autopilot. So this is an invitation to kind of pause that autopilot and just really be present and be in control of your responses. Reconnect with the present moment and with your experience right now, and recognize that you can access these spaces whenever you want to, and empower yourself to do that. So first we're going to start with acknowledging. So sit with a tall spine if you can. Close your eyes or keep a soft half gaze. Feel your body grounded in your seat. Begin to notice the nature of your current experience. Begin to tune in with your bodily sensations, with any thoughts or feelings that might be coming up for you. Notice this experience without becoming drawn into it or pushing it away. Become a quiet observer, just noticing. Allow yourself to come back to this broad, soft awareness whenever you notice that you might be becoming entangled with thoughts or worries. I like to just imagine the little thoughts or worries like floating off into the air. So now we're going to gather. So after a moment, we're just going to redirect our attention to our breath, paying attention to the in breath and to the out breath. Just notice your breathing, its speed, its texture, its quality. Are you feeling able to take deep breaths right now? No judgment, just paying attention. Where does the breath feel most alive in your body? And allowing yourself to recognize this breath as an anchor back to the present. Again, enter into this paying attention with kindness and without judgment. And now we're going to expand. So expand the field of your awareness around your breathing so that you can become aware of your whole body. Become aware of your posture, of your breath, of your facial expression or how you're holding tension in your face. And gently broaden out this awareness to notice the nature of your whole body experience. Again, no judgment, just kindness. And remember this idea of acknowledging yourself, of gathering yourself, and then of expanding your awareness. We invite you to do this any time of day or night. I like just having those three words in my mind: acknowledge, gather, and then expand. And allowing myself, even if I just have a few minutes, to kind of acknowledge where I am, gather myself together in the moment, expand my awareness, and bring myself back into the present moment. So we'll take a few breaths just to finish up the meditation. So I hope this space has been a helpful reflection space for you today. And I hope that you can move forward in your day and in your week with intentionality. I'm really thinking about the spaces where you can be thoughtful about caring for yourself as a way to empower yourself to take care of yourself and of those around you, even if it's just taking a few deep breaths um, and just remembering that you deserve it, especially right now, especially in this hard time that everyone's going through. And also that beyond you deserving it, the people around you will benefit from it because they'll see you as more centered. It's a great way to model for others, but it's also a way for you to be more patient and present when you're with them because you're doing the same for yourself. Thank you all so much for being here and spending these moments with me. I hope you have beautiful rests of the day, and please feel free to reach out if anything comes up or you want to talk through any additional forms of self-care. I'm always happy to talk about self-care. It's one of my favorite things to spend time with. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.